Today, we're celebrating strength, confidence, and leadership. Today is National Girls and Women in Sports Day. And if you've ever coached, parented, mentored, or been a female athlete, this episode is for you because sports don't just build bodies, they build minds, they build identity, they build resilience, and for girls and women, that matters deeply. Welcome to the Mental Weight Room. I'm your host and mental performance coach, Antoinette Datoc. And today we're honoring female athletes with a very special bonus episode. We're celebrating the 40th annual National Girls and Women in Sports Day. The 2026 theme, Lead Her Forward. And that theme is intentional because while we've made progress from 1 in 27 girls playing sports decades ago to nearly 2 in 5 today, progress doesn't mean protection is no longer needed, especially when it comes to Title IX. But National Girls and Women in Sports Day didn't start as a hashtag. It didn't start as a theme or a marketing campaign. It started as a statement, as a mission. In 1987, National Girls and Women in Sports Day began in our nation's capital as a way to bring real, national attention to the promise of girls and women in sports. It was created by premier organizations and elite female athletes who understood something we're still fighting to protect today. Sports are not extra for girls, they're essential. Originally, this day honored Olympic volleyball player Flo Hyman, not just for her athletic excellence, but for her fierce commitment to equality in women's sports. Sadly, Flo died in 1986 from complications related to Marfan syndrome. But her legacy didn't end there. It became a call to action. And it remains a call to action, perhaps even more so today. Co-founded and powered by the Women's Sports Foundation, National Girls and Women in Sports Day celebrates the accomplishments of girls and women, recognizes the life-changing impact of sports participation, and reminds us that the fight for equality in sport is not finished. Every year, schools and community organizations host hundreds of grassroots events across all 50 states and Washington, D.C. They reach hundreds of thousands of girls and women, not to celebrate perfection, but to celebrate possibility. That's right, possibility. But possibility only comes with opportunity. And that's why this day matters. Because when we talk about girls and women in sport, we're not just talking about medals, wins, and losses. We're talking about scholarships. We're talking about confidence, identity, leadership, and the mental strength that carries far beyond the field of play. National Girls and Women in Sports Day exists for 3 reasons. 1, to honor the achievements of female athletes. 2, to recognize the role sports play in building confidence and leadership. And 3, to advocate for gender equality in sport. And here's what I want to be very clear about. Equality does not mean sameness. Female athletes are not just smaller versions of male athletes. They are different in important, meaningful ways. And those differences matter. There are physical differences. That's obvious. It's not rocket science, but it is science. And physical differences matter immensely. But what we don't talk about nearly enough in this conversation is this. Female athletes experience sports differently, mentally, psychologically, and emotionally. And if you ignore that, you don't just risk unfairness, you risk harm. Let's break it down. Here's the reality. Female athletes across sports consistently show higher rates of toxic perfectionism, greater sensitivity to feedback and perceived judgment, a stronger tendency toward internalized critical self-talk, and a deeper connection between identity and performance than their male counterparts. That means confidence is built or broken very differently. Safety matters more than we admit, and comparison culture hits harder and earlier. When girls step into sports, they're not just competing against opponents. They're often competing against expectations, body image pressure, and fear of disappointing others. Sports, when done right, can be the antidote to that, but only if the environment is protected. And this is why Title IX profoundly still matters. It's not just about numbers on a roster. It's about protected opportunities, fair competition, psychological safety, and identity development. Title IX is not just about numbers on a roster. It's about protected opportunities, fair competition, psychological safety, and identity development. It ensures that girls and women have spaces designed for them, spaces where they can take risks, build confidence, develop leadership, learn resilience through failure. And when those spaces are compromised, it's not just a policy issue. It's a mental health issue. It's a developmental issue. It's a confidence issue. And if you work with female athletes, you know it. You see it every day. Here's what sports give girls when the system works: a voice, a sense of agency, comfort with taking up space, experience leading under pressure. It's a pipeline for leadership and personal fulfillment. That's why National Girls and Women in Sports Day matters. That's why the Women's Sports Foundation continues this work. And that's why the theme, Lead Her Forward, isn't just inspirational, it's instructional. We don't lead girls forward by pretending differences don't exist. We lead them forward by respecting those differences and protecting the environments that allow them to thrive. Here's what coaches, parents, and organizations must remember. If you coach girls, your language matters, your feedback matters, your awareness matters. If you parent a female athlete, her confidence is powerful, but is also fragile. Comparison culture starts at home. Safety isn't weakness, it's a prerequisite for growth. And if you're an organization or governing body, equity requires intentional protection, not neutrality. Title IX is not outdated, it's essential. I'd like to leave you with a few things to reflect on. I'm not saying female athletes need special treatment, not at all, but they do need appropriate treatment. They need environments that recognize that performance is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and psychological. And when we protect those spaces, we don't just create better athletes, we create stronger women. Thanks for tuning into this bonus episode of The Mental Weight Room. If you're a coach, a parent, or an athlete who wants to build real mental strength, not just grind harder, this is exactly the work I do. You can learn more at AntoinetteDatoc.com. And if you'd like to learn more about the Women's Sports Foundation, their mission, and the important initiatives they support, visit womensportsfoundation.org. Finally, if this episode resonated with you, drop me a comment, tap 5 stars, and spread the word by liking and sharing it, because when girls play sports, they become leaders, and we all win. This is Coach Antoinette signing off. Keep training your brain like you train your body, and keep pushing your limits.